Good morning, everyone.
Good
And
morning.
welcome to episode 2 of Coffee with Jim and James. The good news is we haven't been canceled yet, so that's positive in this quarantine. I hope quarantine life's treating everyone well. I don't know if I can speak for everyone, but personally, I am busier than I've ever been before. I don't have a clue how I'm going to transition back to an office space with the normal distractions and social behavior that we're used to, but we'll figure it out. It's a good thing to be busy. I'm excited about today's guest. We are going to talk about really the way the pandemic has shaped some of the things we're doing in our businesses and really propelled us forward into the future. Sometimes we really need someone to force our hand a bit into that uncomfortable area so we can see where the magic happens. And I think that's some of what we're seeing even today. So in an attempt not to really steal the thunder of our guest or anyone else, I'm going to go ahead and pivot to Jim. And Jim, if you want to go ahead and do introductions, we'll get started.
My pleasure. It is with my honor that I get to introduce Mr. Matt Green, Vice President of Technical Services for Clockspring NRI. I've known Matt just for a few years. When I normally look at my friends in the industry, it's measured in decades. Matt and I met at a Christmas party, an NRI Christmas party 2 years ago at Singer Island, and have become friends since then. And we have a lot of mutual friends. So I know their company and their industry well. I have a lot of respect for them, a lot of the things that they've been doing lately with the virtual world. So I was excited to have Matt on. So with that, with no further, let me hand it over to Matt.
All right, I appreciate it, guys, and thank you for having me. It's an honor to have been asked to participate. We have been doing a lot of new things, a lot of more virtual and remote-based activities. With everything that's happening, it's really changing the way everyone kind of works on a business-to-business and even straight to client relationships. Everything is different than how it used to be. So. I'm happy to be here to have a chance to talk about some of the things that we've been doing and some of the things we've been building and focusing on. And the first one really is kind of on our safety moments. All of our meetings kick off safety moment. It's one of our core focuses, our core values at the company. But one of the things that we've really been doing, especially within my group, is kind of shifting what we would typically see within those safety moments to more of a emotional and personal well-being than more of like a job site safety hazard type of activity. We're seeing a lot of difficulty, a lot of changes, a lot of big things happening in the world that have really changed the way we have to look at and address the things that we do. And everyone's having a very difficult time. And the additional stress, burnout's a real thing. All these other things can really take tolls on people emotionally and physically as well. As you know, higher stress leads to lower immunity. People get sick, and it's one of the things we're trying to avoid with all these changes to start with. So we're really trying to pay attention within our teams.
That's a good point, Matt. I know Jim and I, we kind of joke sometimes we're each other's therapists at times during this, and I feel like other people as well. We really have to band together like never before. And really focus in on those things like emotional well-being. We just had a webinar a couple of weeks ago, really focused on some of that, and it's very real. I think having missing that personal touch, and then adding all those elements that we're all dealing with now that aren't our normal elements and variables, has really affected a lot of people. So kudos on that.
Yeah, so it's a big thing. We try to focus on it. People are what makes the world turn, and we got to take care of our people. So we really want to shift focus on. And obviously the other thing is kind of what we're doing now, more of the digital and remote type of communication activities. The way we get information out to the industry. We can't go to trade shows right now. We can't have a lot of face-to-face client meetings. There's a lot of things that have changed, and trying to catch up with how we can now address that has been a big push. And we've been doing a lot of things behind the scenes, and as you mentioned, we've been doing a lot of what we're calling tech talks to really get information, to continue to educate the industry, which is, one of my, primary responsibilities in my role is to educate on what we do and, the solutions that we can provide. So setting those types of things up been key. And we've had a very good reception for what we've done so far. We've kind of toyed with them in the past. We've given a few here and there, but just with the way everything has changed, obviously people are more open to it. They're not getting to have those same type of events, and having the ability to now kind of push it out to the industry has been big. And, I think a lot of the things we're doing, some of the things obviously will go back to normal, but a lot of them I think are building a new foundation for how we can work as we come out of this.
Yeah, and Matt, I got to join in on one of the tech talks, and it was a great episode. Live interaction, able to type in questions. I learned something, which these days it's really great to do it. And I will just say too, for the folks out there watching this, you might hear some of the connection pop in and out, and that's reality that we have this day. Every day we're on video conferences. We have connections. People are all over the country, from rural to inner city, and so just wanted to point that out. And that's, I guess, reality these days, and it's okay.
And Jim, I'm fully prepared for my dog to roll in here. She makes a guest appearance in pretty much every meeting that I have. So I'm waiting for that door to open. You'll hear a large creak, and she'll slide in and look out the window. So
I'm waiting for the door to open too. It happened last time.
No doubt.
Hey, I think that's pretty well expected, and I think everyone has been experiencing that, which kind of adds a little bit of lightness to how we're taking the things that we do every day, which kind of leads me into the other thing I wanted to talk about was how working remotely and the activities we do and the things that we have to accomplish within our jobs has really changed us.
Mm-hmm.
I've kind of in preparation for this, I talked to a few of my colleagues, both in my company and within other companies that I know. And, I've kind of got that feedback from everyone is, there's definitely a shift, definitely a change in attitude and how we all approach our day-to-day jobs. One of the big ones was a comment that, before coming home from work, you kind of shut that off and you put that wall up and say, okay, work is work, home is home. I'm not bringing it home. Well, now work is home for a lot of people. For the lucky people, a lot of people don't have that option, but it's changed how they've done that, and they've really kind of opened up and welcomed that fact that now things that they might not have discussed with their family, now they're discussing, and they're getting a different perspective on things. And everyone has their opinions, and it's easy to have your opinion if you're only seeing one section, but a lot of times that outside input can affect how you view things. So it's nice to have that perspective. And then I've talked to other people, that work for companies that really have never embraced the remote or, out of the office working. And obviously that's having to change. And the feedback I'm getting from them is, their companies are now embracing it and, finding the value and the usefulness and finding new ways to do things that they probably wouldn't have looked for. So, there's a lot of things, a lot of difficulty that we're facing right now, but I think a lot of this is a lot of learning that the industry and, all the individuals are doing. And I think, I'm optimistic that we'll come out with a lot more better understanding of how we can do things and have, more doors open to us.
Yeah, Matt, you said something about blurring that line. I think my wife thought I was lying about how many meetings I had every day. And now she's, probably sitting 12 foot away from me and to hear it. And she's like, wow, you really do sit on meetings all day. Who really does all the work? But it's true, right? And in the same regard, she'll come in and sit down in my office and we'll have conversations where I didn't have that opportunity, when I was at work. And so it is blurred, but in a very positive and realistic way. I think that's sustainable, right? That we never really had to factor in before, and it's definitely for the good.
Yeah, and I just want to jump in and say that, echoing what both Matt and James was saying, that we're learning, we're evolving, we're changing. Sometimes change is very hard. It can be, easy for some and very hard for others. And this is a process. And I think Matt really hit on a couple things that are very close to the EWN family too, that, take a look at your people, take a look at their mental health, take a look at their emotional health, where PPE in the past was glasses, hard hat, steel toes. Now we're looking at, are you stretching a couple times a day? Are you going for a walk to clear the mind? Are you getting out of the house if you can? All those things really, really pull into it. And so I think Matt really hit it close to home. And again, the virtual world, which to me, literally 3 months ago was a foreign world to me, and now it's become a daily occurrence. And my comfort level is to the point of, hey, you want to do a video call? I'll call you right now. Boom. And I'm still a little got some tech challenges, but that's where we are.
Well, I don't want to beat a dead horse on that topic. I think we all agree that this is unprecedented times, and the value coming out of it is really exponential. Matt, are there any final thoughts before we sign off today?
Yeah, I think, kind of circling back to that point, just, everyone's going through something different, and it's different for everyone. Everyone's in a different situation. And I think, overall, just in general, try to have more grace, more compassion, as we're all going through this together. And I think we're going to get there.
Amen.
Good final thought. We appreciate that. Let me wrap this up. It's been another great episode with Coffee with Jim and James. We appreciate you listening. Please like it. Please comment on it. Please share it if you want to pass it on to your network. The more people that see it, if we could have one person learn one thing from today and make themselves better, our time has been well invested. So with that, I want to say sign off. Thank you from the team here, and we appreciate you. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy, keep the positive attitude going, and the lights at the end of the tunnel. And we will see you next week.
Have a great day, guys.
Thank you, everyone.